Hey y'all, welcome to Heritage Ways. You found the channel where we honor home, celebrate heritage, and spread hope. And today, we want to share with you one of the heritage foods from my past. Hey y'all, I'm Mr. Patient. So 2 or 3 years ago, we put a video out about the Southern Country ham and how to do that and the heritage of it. If you want to learn about the heritage of it or hear about the heritage of it, you can go to the video that we're going to tag here. But what we wanted to do today was make a shorter version of the video that basically shows you how to do it. I just want to give you a quick description of the ham. The ham that I got is from a company here in our town, and this ham is about 17 pounds. But what it actually is, from my standpoint and my heritage, we call it country ham. We call them two different hams. There's a country ham, and then we always called it city ham. Country ham is salt cured, but a city ham is sugar cured. So if you think of like a honey baked ham, I would call that a city ham. What we do from a heritage standpoint is a salt cured country ham, and this one is actually salt cured and smoked. So first thing that we're going to do is cut the ham hock off of it so that Miss Katie can use that in some of her other recipes. So right now we buy our ham, but eventually I want to be able to make my own as far as curing the hams, or if I do have to buy it, I want to find a local source, get to know my farmer type local source is what I'm wanting to do. So you could buy, if you raise pigs, you could do this yourself and cure the ham and then smoke it, or if you could find somebody in your local area that does that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it out of the bag that it's used to smoke it in. All right, so before I start cooking, there's a few things I'm gonna do. First thing is I'm gonna cut the ham hock off, and I'm gonna cut it off. I'm probably gonna cut about a good 4 inches off of it, and I just use a regular cross-cut saw to do that. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it into the kitchen, and you'll see here it's got some mold on it, and that's just part of the aging process that happens. But what I'll do is I'll take it in, and with some lukewarm water and a scrub brush, and I'll scrub all of that off as best I can before we start cooking. All right, one of the things I'm doing different this time is in the previous video, I soaked it overnight in water, just plain water, soaked it overnight in a bucket. I totally submerged it in water, and I don't know if that needs to be done or if it even makes a difference, but it's just something I felt like I needed to do. But this year I'm not going to do that. So now what I'm doing is I'm just running not cold water, not hot water, just kind of cool to lukewarm water over the ham and just rubbing it down to try to get a lot of the salt residue off of it. So if you can see right there where I'm rubbing on it with the brush, as you're cooking it, I'm going to be skimming off the top, whatever, for lack of a better term, you'll get froth and foam on the top. And so as I'm cooking it, I will constantly be pulling that froth or that foam off. Right, so I've got it totally scrubbed, and you can see how much different it looks. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it in here. Now, I use one of these roasting pans because that's what we have. I would love to have a big pot that I could put it in to totally submerge it for cooking, because in doing it in a pot like this, what I have to do is halfway through the cooking process, I have to take the ham out, I empty the water, I start with fresh water, and I flip the ham. And when you're cooking a ham like this, you need to cook it for about 20 to 25 minutes per pound. Like I said a minute ago, this is about a 17-pound ham, so I'm going to have to cook this for about 5.5 hours. So what I'll do is we'll call it at 2.5 hours, I will pull the ham out, set it on a platter, pour the water out, add fresh water, and then flip it to cook it the rest of the way. Now, once I get it on the stove and get it going, once it starts boiling, I turn the heat down just slightly so that it's just at a slow boil. I don't want a rolling boil, I just want a slow, low boil. Alright, so I'm halfway through my cook time. So what I'm going to do, since I'm using a roaster pan and can't totally submerge the ham to cook it. So what I do at this point is I pull the ham out, change the water. So I've got me some more water on the stove right here, trying to go ahead and get it up to temp so I don't lose time here. So while this is heating up, I'll take this over, I'll pull the ham out, and I'll set it on a platter, or I'll probably just set it on this lid since I don't really have a platter. Just invert the lid and set it in the lid. The water that's in there, I'll pour it out, and I'll take the ham and flip it over in the pan to cook the other side that was the up side a minute ago. And then I'll add this hot water in and to cook for the rest of my time. Alright, so now that I've turned it and I've got it going again, this is the second half of my cook. So at this point is where we have this digital corded thermometer. So what I'll do is I'll stick this probe in and I'll try to get it into the thickest part of the meat and away from the bone, because I don't want the bone to affect the temperature. So I'll stick it in thickest part of the meat, and then I'll turn this on, and when the internal temperature gets to the 160 degrees, then it'll give me an alert, and that lets me know that I'm done and we're good to go. Alright, so I've been cooking for about 6 hours, and I told you a while ago that I needed to get to 155 to 160 degrees. 155 to 160 degrees internal temperature. And I've got my thermometer here, and it just flipped to 159. So I'm going to turn this off and turn the stove off, and I'm just going to let it set here for probably an hour, hour and a half, and then I'll come back to it and pull it out, drain the water, and start working on cutting. Alright, so it's the day after. I had it in the refrigerator overnight just because I was late getting done cooking it last night. So now, we've got the cooked ham, so now all I got to do is slice it up for serving. So one of the things I like to do is the excess rind that's on here, I like to try to trim some of that off to get it out of the way. That way you're not having to deal with that while it's on your plate. So I just kind of, it's not want to cooperate. So I just try to slice as much of that off as I can and get it down, try to get it down to the meat. And as you're from a slicing standpoint, I always use just a regular knife. I tried using an electric knife one time, and personally I just didn't prefer it that much. It may be that I'd never really used one and didn't know how to use it, but I just prefer just a regular kitchen knife. So as you see, I'm just trying to slice this off and get it down to the meat. That way you don't have all the excess rind or fat, whatever you'd prefer to call it. One thing you guys might know, you might not know, prosciutto. If you guys know about prosciutto, it is basically what we're talking about here is country ham. It's just really thinly sliced country ham, almost shaved salt cured ham. So that's what prosciutto is. So see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of going around and trying to get as much of that off as I can before I start slicing. Alright, so one of the first things that I do is I try to cut the end off right here because it's hard. I mean, it's not a good piece of meat to eat, but it could be something that you might want to keep, you know, to flavor something else with. So see, if you look at that, see it's really hard and on. It's not good for eating, but you have to get that out of the way to get down to the good stuff like that. Now I try really hard to cut these pieces evenly, but it don't always work out. So I just slice it off best I can and we just go from there. But here we go. I hope this is good. I hope it's done. So I love a good salt cured ham, and that's really good. Takes me back to my childhood, takes me back to the memories I have with my grandfather. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this more of an instructional video, and if you guys go out there and decide that you want to boil a salt cured ham and you get to a point to where you have questions, feel free to put comments down below and ask me any kind of questions that you may have. So I hope you enjoy this, and talk to you guys later.
We share with you one of our holiday I just said that.
Hey y'all, welcome to Heritage Ways. This is a channel where we honor home, we share heritage.
We celebrate it.
I don't.
Take two.
Hey y'all, welcome to Heritage Ways. You have found the channel where we celebrate home.
No, we don't. We honor it. Take three.
Hey y'all, welcome to Heritage Ways. This is a channel where we honor home, we celebrate heritage, and we share hope.
Spread. We don't share anything.
Can you write it down?
No.
I need a cue card.
We've got almost 600 videos.
I need a cue card. I know, but I'm not the one that says this all the time.
Come on, you can do this. Take 49, because I don't know where we are now on our account. We spread hope, like peanut butter. Spread hope.
Okay, nice and thick.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to Heritage Ways. You found the channel where we celebrate home.
No, we don't. Say it with me. Honor home.
Honor home.
Celebrate heritage and spread hope. Honor home. HH.
Hey y'all, welcome to Heritage Ways. You found the channel where we honor home.
Celebrate heritage.
Where we honor home, celebrate heritage, and spread hope. And today, we want to share with you one of the heritage foods from my past. Okay.